Yo, what's up everyone? It's your boy CrispPurpose, back at it again with another Gems of War top 5 video for you guys. So in this one, we're going to be looking at the top 5 most underrated epic troops. Now let's go over them. So number 5 on the list is the Burning Ocularian. The Burning Ocularian is an elemental monster. It is found in the All-Seeing Eye faction, which is associated with the Darkstone Kingdom. The All-Seeing Eye is a pretty cool faction. This troop right here, Burning Ocularian, actually has a 13 mana cost of yellow and green, and he has for his spell, Burnt Out. Burn an enemy, and deal 59 damage to them, and convert red gems to skulls to boost the effect. It's a pretty simple spell. Interestingly though, it has for its traits, Deep Magic, gain 5 magic when attacking delves, Fireproof, immunity to burning and fair fire, and final trait is Underwhelming, which is Jinx, half enemy gem masteries. This is a pretty simple troop to use right here. I'm going to be using it on this Slayer team setup because of course the spell for the troop burns enemies, so we're going to make use of that by using of course the Charred Blade. Charred Blade is going to be dealing damage to an enemy and converting all blue gems to burning gems, which is pretty cool. And this is my usual setup of talents for my talent tree on Slayer. Ferocity, Chill of Death. Firestarter is notable along with Vengeance, Bloodthirsty, and of course, Fireblade, dealing triple skull damage to burning enemies. Thrall is going to be generating mana here, along with that, my Leprechaun. I have demonstrated this before on a video, so let's go over it and just show you guys exactly how this works, because this is a very good troop right here, especially for players who are not at such a super high level. You can use this in a very effective team. If you want as well, you can actually switch out Thrall right here and use Centurion, because this is going to be putting skulls on the board. You can change the weapon as well and use I'm going to show you. Let's hop into a battle with this one, and then I'm going to show you how you can switch it out and make it even simpler. So first off, we want to see if we can get some mana to our Thrall. If we don't, we're going to cast our Leprechaun. There we go. And we got the enemies burning. So our first assignment here, let's see if we can get some mana to our Thrall. To make sure he's ready, let's burn the enemies. And there we go. Just cascading gems will kill them. As you can see, we have plenty of red right here. We're going to convert all of them to burning gems. And now we're going to see if we can get some matches. And just like that. Pretty simple, very easy team to execute. Once you have your Slayer level all the way to 100 and you set up those different talents. If you want to switch this around to make it work a different way without using significantly high magic, so you go right here and you select Centaur, and of course you go and grab Centurion. Put Centurion right there, and now for the hero, you're going to use something that's extremely tanky. Let's go ahead and switch this around. You can use this right here, the shield, or you can go ahead and pick out a different weapon that's going to give you armor and keep you protected. So for example, you can use another shield, which is this one right here. This weapon is the Servant Protect. It's a weapon you get off of 250 wins off of the Knight hero class, right? You'll gain armor, you'll pull yourself to first position just in case the enemies are rotating your team, and then you're going to barrier all other allies, and the weapon for itself in the weapon upgrades actually has shielding, which means you barrier yourself and you'll give mana to all allies as well with Radiant. So that's a very potent setup that you can actually use. The Storm is going to get Centurion powered up. Centurion is going to get your Burning Ocularian powered up. And every single time you cast your Burning Ocularian, you're going to burn that singular enemy. And you're going to hit them with skulls. And you're going to go ahead and cast a Centurion again. And you're going to cast your Burning Ocularian after that. And you're going to cast a Centurion. It goes in a loop, back and forth, back and forth. All right, so that is the number 5 pick of the top 5 most underrated epic troops. Now let's move on to number 4. So the number 4 pick of the most underrated epic troop is Auspicia. Now Auspicia is a usually overlooked troop, even though her spell is so potent, right? So Auspicia is a Centaur Mystic from the Divinian Fields Kingdom. She has a 14 mana cost of green and blue. Her spell is Vision of the Stars. She will give 54 life to an ally, then remove all blue, red, and brown gems. So this troop is the only troop in the game, I think, that actually removes 3 gems of a kind. Many times a troop might remove a singular gem color, but this removes 3 different colors, which can make for some very interesting gameplay. It has 4 hit traits. Centaur Bond, allied centaurs gain 2 life. Nature Heart, gain 1 life for each green ally. And Air Heart, gain 1 life for each yellow ally. I'm using it on this team setup right here. So up front on this team, I have Doomed Axe. We all know this weapon right here, very powerful doomed weapon. It will deal 53 damage to all enemies plus 1 per tempering level. Then it will convert purple gems to doom skulls. And if the enemy has a doom, it will create 5 more. Then it will gain 3 mana for each yellow ally. I'm using it along with the Archer Hero class here to give the hero a 50% start. And along with that, the bullseye at the bottom right there is very potent. Hopefully I don't come across enemies that have a what should I say now, a skull reflect, because that can be a backfiring trait in some instances if I procure that 15% chance of a lethal skull hit. I have right here as well Hunt, which is Hunter's Mark, enemy on while matching 4 or 5 of a kind. And I have Root Trap set as well as Nature's Aura. Nature's Aura isn't going to be important on this team setup because of the final troop on the team. And of course, Dodge and Wall of Vines. So Areri is going to be here simply because of that final trait right there. Astronomy, it will conjure a Star Storm, which is a purple and yellow storm at the start of my turn. Very potent troop. In fact, this is one of the few troops, this and Tink Steam Whistle, in which the final trait, you're unable to get rid of that final trait on this troop. It cannot be stunned only if you curse this troop. That's the only way you're going to be able to stun this troop and get that Star Storm to not occur, because this troop is impervious, thus it's immune to all status effects. That includes stun. Thrall is going to be here for easy mana generation on this team, and I think I'm going to switch this from here to Gulvania. It's going to make it much easier to execute this team right here. All right, so let's look at the banner for this team. So I'm using the Unicorn banner right here from the Silverglade Kingdom. Say +2 purple, +1 yellow, minusing red, because I'm not using any red troops. So yeah, let's go over this number 4 pick, Auspicia. Okay, so our first assignment, as usual, is to get some mana to our Thrall. So let's match these down right here, and then we're going to take this brown right here, and let's see if we have a 4+ gem match for Thrall. There we go. A lot of matches. And the enemies are Hunter's Marked. I think 3 of them are Hunter's Marked. We're going to go ahead and cast our Thrall. And just to show you exactly what we mean with Auspicia, we have alignment on the board already. If we want to, we can actually just remove all the brown, all the blue, everything, right? But we have alignment on our skull, so we're going to go ahead and take that first before we cast Auspicia. We can convert all this purple right here to Doom Skulls. Let's go ahead and cast that. Very good. We got some cascading gem matches, and then let's remove the gems. That's exactly what we mean. It's a huge move. Like, so many gems were removed. If you want as well, you can use it to gain alignment on the board, which is, you know, a good thing. Let's go ahead and let's cast it again. And I always cast it on the first troop. You know, it usually is beneficial for me to cast it on the first troop. Now we're going to go ahead and cast our weapon if we want to. No, let's cast Thrall. And now we see if we can get some alignment on our weapon. There we go. We should have alignment right now. There we go. We got a big hit. And let's see if we can remove some gems. So we're going to remove all the red and all the brown and a lot of stuff. There we go. Let's do that. It actually works out really, really well. Just a simple demonstration of this troop right here. And the fact that it gives life to an ally, you can actually just give life to the hero every single instance. So you're going to bulk him up so that even if the skull damage misses, it won't kill the hero and you have another opportunity to cast again. Auspicia is that number 4 pick of most underrated epic troops. Now let's move on to the number 3 slot. So the number 3 most underrated epic troop is Luciferia. Now this troop right here is often overlooked, as with any other boss slayer or god slayer troop right here. Um, Luciferia is from the Blighted Lands, right? It's a Daemon Rogue. It has a 12 mana cost of blue and purple. It has for a spell Hell Strike. It will deal 62 damage to an enemy. If they are a boss, it will deal 3 times to 5 times damage based on my ascensions, and then it will burn all enemies. Along with that, Luciferia has for its traits Pyromania. It will deal double skull damage versus burning enemies fast. It starts battles with 50% mana. And along with that, it has a standard Godslayer trait. Now, this troop right here on this team is actually very effective for an Explore 12 team. Up front on this team, I have Osha's Tome. Osha's Tome is one of the most powerful generator weapons in the game. On a complete blue team, especially on a complete elemental team, this weapon goes crazy. Right, so Osha's Tome will explode 4 gems for each blue ally and each elemental ally. So no matter what your magic level is, this weapon here is going to be very effective in generating mana for the entire team. Along with that, in the weapon upgrades, this weapon actually has ice, in that it will create an ice storm when you cast it. Lightning, it will deal scatter damage to, that's the entire enemy team. And Tidal, it will submerge myself when I cast it as well. So many players actually use this mainly for that ice final trait on the upgrades. I have a very potent troop right here, a powerhouse, if you might say, Balder. Balder is, an amazing troop. There is no explanation needed for this troop right here. Amazing spell as well, create 4 skulls boosted by blue allies, complete blue allies right here. Mercy is going to be at the bottom of the team so as to give us an empowered start. She's going to be giving life to the weakest ally as well, and converting purple gems to yellow to boost the effect, as well as she cleanses all allies. She's a very good option for any team that needs quick mana to a generator, or maybe to cause a status effect on the entire enemy team. The banner that I'm using for this team right here is the Mirror banner from the Mirrored Hall King faction. It is a +2 yellow, +1 blue, -ing red. You can switch this banner around for whatever you prefer. And yeah, I'm using the Slayer hero class here. Hopefully I get a very nice board to make sure this works really well for you guys. So let me back out first off and change my medals. I'm going to be switching over to 2 seasons and an Anu. All right, so let's go ahead and go to Sword's Edge. No troop here. Actually, I think only one troop here is immune to Fear, Fire, and Burn, and here he is in the battle. All right, so let's get out of this kingdom. Let's go back to Golvania, and no enemies on this team are immune to Fear, Fire, and Burn. I think 3 enemies in Golvania are immune to Fear, Fire, and Burn, but we should be able to make good use of these troops. So yeah, Luciferia sitting at that pretty position on the team. Okay, so we have a great amount of convert for our Mercy right here. We're just going to go ahead and cast her. And I should have changed my medals, my Storm, but I'm going to be working with this Storm. Ideally, you want a blue Storm at the start of battle, but I'm going to change the Storm, so it doesn't really matter that much. All right, the AI is mana draining us. Let's go ahead and match that first. Let's see if we can get some more mana to our troops and get them spell ready. There we go. So we got our Luciferia powered up. We're going to cast her to burn the entire enemy team. And now let's cast Balder. Because there are so many blue allies on the team, we should be able to easily kill them out with our Balder, no matter what. And there we go. That is basically how you execute a team. And it's only possible because we have Luciferia. Luciferia is usually overlooked, but she deals double skull damage versus the type of troop that the type of spell that she does, right? And she has fast. It's a very unique troop right here. And I think anyone, especially players at a low level, in which you don't have a lot of magic, you want a triple damage burning team that's going to execute really well, use this one right here. If your troops are weaker, Mercy is going to give life to that particular troop, preferably the hero, and it's just going to work. You know what I mean? It's a really effective team. You don't need a lot of magic to execute this team right here. So yeah, that was the number 3 spot on the list. Now let's check out what's the number 2 spot on the most underrated epic troops. Number 2 spot is Moira Craighart. Craghart, I should say. It's Moira Craghart, right? Yes, a Moira Craghart is an epic troop from Draxzoom, a dwarf troop right here. She has a 12 mana cost of blue and brown. Moira has for her spell Titan's Doom. She will deal 50 damage to an enemy. If the enemy is a boss, she will deal times 2, times 3, or 2 times 5 damage based on my ascension, right? And then she will convert green gems to doom skulls. Now, this is one of your earliest chances to get a troop that can actually put doom skulls on the board. It's one of the best troops, to be honest. I can't forget how much I used to use this troop in a number of different teams back when I was at a lower level. And she is still potent even in the high level. Reason being, not only is she converting Doom Skulls, right? Converting green gems to Doom Skulls, Moira has a very nice setup of traits. So she has a standard Godslayer trait, of course, but not only that, because she's a dwarf, she has Fortitude. So that's a standard trait of immunity to stun. And right there, that's amazing. You cannot stun this troop right here. Makes it very good. And along with that, it's immune to poison, disease, death mark, lycanthropy, and devour. Very powerful second trait. Now, the first trait, the Giant Slayer, makes you able to use this particular troop right here in a specific kingdom, which is Stormheim. A number of the troops there are going to be giant troops, and she deals double skull damage versus giant troops, and she's putting doom skulls on the board. So if you arrange your team, nicely, you're able to make really good use of Moira on a team. So we're going to be using it on this team setup right here. So Moira is going to be up front, followed by Merilith. Merilith is going to be our main mana generator on this team. Merilith has Sword Dance as her spell. She will deal 6 true damage to all enemies, and then she will destroy 41 gems. Now I'm going to be switching my medals here back to all magic, right, to make sure this is extremely potent. And let's bring this up to Stormheim. A lot of the enemies here are going to be giants. A giant up front right there, a divine, a giant right there, and a giant right there. So yeah, Moira is going to slap right here on this team. So there is Merilith. She has a bonus red mana in her traits right there, which is the fire link, and she's going to be gaining attack. As a matter of fact, she has frenzy. She'll gain 1 attack when she takes damage. One of our main ways of dealing damage to enemy team, we're going to be using the Doom Glaive. Doom Glaive is a very popular weapon and extremely powerful because it deals damage to all enemies, 59 damage as a matter of fact, plus 1 per tempering level. Then it will convert all brown gems to Doom Skulls. So if the enemy has a Doom, it will create 5 more. Then it will gain 3 mana for each green enemy. I'm using it with the Archer hero class, specifically for the 50% start, and of course the Hunter's Mark, and definitely for the Root Trap and the Nature's Aura. Those are the main reasons I'm using this. As well, Moira is going to make good use of that Green Storm, converting those gems into Doom Skulls. And because I'm Hunter's Marking enemies here, if an enemy is Hunter's Mark when I fire off either the Doom Glaive or Moira, I'm going to be able to deal times 4 damage. So times 2 from Moira's traits, the Giant Slayer, and another times 2 from Hunter's Mark, because Hunter's Mark enemies will take double skull damage. So that's times 4 damage that my Moira is going to be able to issue out to enemy teams. It's basically a singular hit and they're dead. Especially if they are giants, I should say. Leprechaun is going to be the fast mana generator here with that Nature Link. So as you guys can see, there's Fire Link here, there's Nature Link here, and of course, I'm using the banner here from the Labyrinth faction. It is the Maze banner, one of the most popular banners in the game. It's +2 green, +1 red, minusing purple banner. So yeah, let's hop right in. Let's see if we can make this an effective battle right here and kill out the enemies real fast. Good, so they're Hunters marked up top. Let's cast our Leprechaun. There we got our, that's why we need that, what do you call it again? That's why we need that Root Trap, because as you can see, the AI just got like an amazing amount of skull cascades on us out of nowhere, right? After casting our troops only once. All right, let's see if we can convert some gems right here. We have this that we can do. Let's go ahead and do that. I think this is going to kill the first troop, and then we're going to be able to focus on the other one. Very good. So we have enough right there. We have Moira right here. Let's go ahead and cast her. There we go. Got a big hit. Let's see what we have right here so we can convert some gems. We don't have anything we can convert, so we're going to destroy the board. Let's cast our Merilith. And we have alignment for Moira all over the place. Let's cast this. There you go. Big hit and one more. And yeah, that's basically what you're able to do with Moira, guys. She's an amazing troop. Super easy. Nothing here is hard, right? You just need to put it together well, and it works effectively. All right, so let's back out of this kingdom right here. And for the final team, we're going to switch over our medals to 2 seasons and an annual. All right, so we're going back to Golvania. And let's check out the team that's at the number 1 slot. The number 2 was Moira. Let's see who is in that number 1 position. So the number 1 most underrated epic troop in my viewpoint is the Water Elemental. Now, this might be a controversial pick because there's so many underrated epic troops, right? But I think that this is a very good pick for me. Why? The Water Elemental is from the Sunken Fleet faction, so it's a pretty easy pickup, right? You can go ahead and grab the Water Elemental at any point in time. Just go to Sunken Fleet, you throw a couple shards at the Chaos portal, and you know, Chaos shards at the portal, and there it comes out. You get a copy of this. It's an epic troop, so it's pretty easy to get. The Sunken Fleet is associated with the Bright Forest Kingdom. This troop is an elemental, and of course has a 13 mana cost of blue and brown. Water Elemental has for a spell, simple, Flood. It will deal 45 damage to all enemies and then stun them. Now, the only other time in which you're able to get a 1 cast or 1 match 4-way stun on an enemy team is on a mythic. That mythic is Obsidious. Obsidious is the only other troop that's able to execute a 4-way stun, I think, in the game, just off of matching a 4+ gem match, but this troop is able to do it off of casting the spell, which makes it very potent. When you stun a troop, you cancel out all their traits. If they're not immune to stun, or they don't have fortitude, or impervious, or invulnerable, or Thickhead, which is the other trait, let me check here. It's called Thickhead, right? Yes, Thickhead. They're not going to be able to avoid getting stunned. So that's why this particular troop is so effective. Now, along with that, the Water Elemental actually has a link into itself, which is the Water Link. It gains bonus blue mana from blue gem matches, and it has spell armor, reduced damage from spells by 25%, and it has deep magic. It gains 5 magic when attacking delves. A pretty good troop right here. Now, on this team, I have up front Vidar the Vast. Now, this troop right here is going to be dealing double skull damage versus stunned enemies. So you see why I have it right here on this team with the Water Elemental. Along with that, he has for his spell, Tenderizer. He will choose an ally, and there is a 10% chance to devour them, boosted by blue gems on the board. Otherwise, it will deal 43 damage. All right, to that enemy. Along with that as well, it has Thickhead, and of course it has Vast. It will gain 2 attack, life, and armor when matching 4 or more gems. I have a main mana generator weapon here, which is going to be Osha's Tome. I'm just going to be able to get either a blue or yellow match, and I should be able to get my Osha's Tome powered up and ready to go. I'm using the Titan hero class on this setup specifically because of the 50% start for 2 of the troops, Vidar the Vast, and of course Balder is going to be on this team as well. Those 2 troops are giants, so I'm going to be giving them a 50% start. A 20% start, as I said, with the Anu is going to be for the Water Elemental here. What else is notable? So this is the setup that I have in the talents for the hero class. I have impact set. You can switch this around for whatever you prefer. I have Thunder Fist, Storm Aura, which is going to be canceled out pretty quickly when I cash Osha's Tome. The Rock Solid, as well as Lightning Strike, which is very important. I want that board to be able to move around to get my troops spell ready. And of course, Fortitude, immune to stun, disease, poison, Death Mark, Lycanthropy, and Devour. Standard trait. All right, so yeah, let's look at the banner here just to make sure. The banner that I'm using here is a Lion banner from the Leonis Empire Kingdom. It's a +2 blue, +1 yellow, -in green banner. I'm not using any green troops on this team. So yeah, let's hop into battle number 3 here in Golvania. Let's see if this team works out at least a bit better than the previous videos. All right, let's go ahead and match this. Let's match this as well. And we want to get our We want to get our tisk. We want to get our Ocean Stone powered up before we cast our Vidar the Vast. All right, let's cast this. Let's see if we can get some blue gems on the board. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can. All right, let's match this first. All right, do we have enough? We have a 48% chance of a devour. We're not gonna take that. Let's match this and let's see if we can get some more blue. Come on, baby, put some more blue gems on the board. All right, very good. Let's see if we can get something now. That's what I'm talking about. That explosion is very good. Getting more blue on the board. And 50 something. Let's see. Ah, there we go. We got a devour. Now, after we got the devour, we can go ahead and stun everyone. No one will have any effective traits. That's going to stop them from taking as much skull damage as possible. Just like that. I'm just going to skull them down. Yeah, baby. That is the team. That is how it works out. So the number one most underrated epic troop for me is the Water Elemental. A 4-way stun is not easy to come by. You can possibly use this if you're at a lower level. You're not going up against high level guilds. You can actually put this team together and use it in Guild Wars. You know what I mean? If you want to give it a try, you can. If you're at a lower level, that's what I would recommend. If you're at a higher level, you don't want to really give the enemies any chance at you. So you want to use a looping team for Guild Wars, especially for Blue Day. But if you want to, you're at a lower level, try this team out. Another team that can be used, let me go back over these. Another team that can be used for a Blue Day team is the Luciferia team. The only difference is, not all enemies are going to be, you're not going to be able to burn every single enemy. So, yeah, that's the most about these team guys. I hope you find these videos interesting and maybe a little bit informative. If you do, definitely blow up that like button for me. I appreciate it every single time when you guys hit that like button, and definitely comment to let me know what you guys think on this team. And if you find it informative, share it with your guild, share it with other persons you know plays Gems of War, and send them over to take a look at our Explore 12 teams, PvP teams, Guild Wars teams, and of course the Viability Ranking series. All right, guys, catch you next one. Peace.